Maharaj also went to the this gambling game and lost everything, including his wife, who wasn't even his. She was Arjuna's wife, and even lost her. So these are examples of bad examples. We don't want to follow them. We want to follow good examples. Somebody was trying to say something. Yes?
The father told Krishna Vasudeva he never told a lie in his life. Is that like a good example?
Yes, it is. Very good. This girl, my God, she is amazing.
You are asking about an example where it is reasonable to be untruthful.
Yeah, this Mataji is asking.
Yeah, so the example is when speaking untruth, okay, is going to benefit somebody.
Yes.
Right? Like, or speaking truth is going to harm that person. In that case, speaking untruthful is absolutely justified.
But who's going to decide that?
That you have to read Srimad Bhagavatam, purify yourself and follow this.
That's good. Yes. Yes, yellow boy.
Don't people always have like to lie at once at least? Since like if they be truthful maybe once, it might hurt other people's feelings.
Yes. But then how long are you going to hide it? In order to hide one lie, you have to lie again. Then hide that one, you have to lie twice again. And then 4 times, and then 8 times, and 100 lies you have to speak to hide one. So it is best to not even start that game. You know it's a losing battle. You lie once and it's just a compounding effect, or you call it domino effect. One domino goes down and there go everyone of them. Before you know, all the dominoes are down. And that brings you down. And your credibility. So, yes.
Yeah, but one day, like Lord Krishna made Yudhishthir Maharaj to say lie to Dronacharya that Ashwamedh Ashwatthama is being killed.
Ashwatthama.
So, what to do with that?
Yes.
Like if Krishna says you to lie, then you need to lie.
Yes.
Krishna says,
So
come to us
Krishna,
personally, then we can.
so every time we have spoken a lie, Krishna in our heart is been sitting and telling us to lie, just like Krishna told Yudhishthira. What are we trying to find some excuses here? Krishna said that on a higher principle, that in order to establish the religious principles, you have to do, meaning Krishna has to do at any cost. But what are we trying to do? Krishna's job. Are we going to take responsibility for that? Krishna took responsibility. Lord Balram went to Naimisharanya. And what was his name? Romaharshana? Romaharshana. No, Romaharshana Sutta is Sutta Goswami. So Romaharshana Sutta was sitting on the Vyasasana. And Lord Balram got mad at him and hit him with a blade of grass and killed him. Lord Balram could do that because later on when they said, oh, by the way, Prabhu, this wasn't the right thing to do, okay, no problem, I'll make him alive again. Lord Balram can do that very easily, make him alive again. I cannot do it, so I better not make that mistake that I cannot correct. Lord Balram can, but just because he can get away with it doesn't mean I can get away with it. Krishna can get away with it. I cannot get away with it. Krishna says to Bhishmatama that okay, you have taken a vow that you will make me lift an arm in this battle of Kurukshetra. Whereas I have taken a vow not to lift him. But I will let you win over me. Because me, it doesn't matter. Who is going to put a lanchan on me and who is going to get away with it? But you cannot do that. So I'll protect your word against putting myself on the line. So, to protect the religious principles, to re-establish the religious principles, Krishna told Yudhishthira to lie. So it's not Yudhishthira's lie, is it? Krishna is taking responsibility for it. You're not going to argue with Krishna. No. Neither did Yudhishthira Maharaj. But Krishna told him, we know you're not going to lie, but there is an elephant. His name is Ashwatthama too. We're going to kill the elephant right now. Just say Ashwatthama, you're not lying. So that's not a white lie, it's a transparent lie because it's completely transparent because Krishna said that. Krishna says, whatever you do for me is not your karma. I take responsibility for that. Evam patram pushpam phalam toyam, we offer to Krishna. Krishna takes the karma out of it. It becomes karma free than we. If Krishna doesn't have the capability of doing that, then why are we offering everything to him? He does have the capability of doing it. So we cannot use that excuse. Krishna did it. Krishna also had 16,108 wives. I can also have more than one. Yeah, sure. Oh, I can have at least 16. Yeah. Let's see you expand into 16. And when you have the capability of doing that, we'll let you have 16. You show us how you can expand yourself into 16. Because Krishna did not only marry 16,108, he expanded himself into 16,108 places at one time. So that doesn't matter. So we cannot be using wrong excuses. We need to learn to be truthful at any cost.
Satyam vada dharmam chara.
Huh?
Satyam vada dharmam chara.
Yeah. There is no leg to stand on if there is no truthfulness. Because here it also says that the truthfulness is actually one of the regulator principles. Which one of the regulator principles is truthfulness?
No, illicit sex.
No gambling, no speculation. That is truthfulness. Because if you're speculating, are you telling the truth? If you're not telling the truth, may you be speculating. But if you're telling the truth, it's no speculation. Truth is truth. It's no speculation. So, truth is directly related in our Shastras with the regulative principle of gambling and speculation. The second is mercy. Which one of the regulative principles is mercy connected to? Meat eating or no meat eating? Who said meat eating? No meat eating. Okay? Why do you want to be merciful?
Because we look for mercy.
We look for mercy for ourselves. Then we better give what we want. We want our children to become truthful, we must become truthful. Yes, mother? Huh? Yellow boy? Never mind. Austerity. What is austerity? Like these three. There is Lord Ram, Devi Sita. She turned out to be a little taller than Ram. Grew a little bit in the meantime after she was selected. And then there is Lakshman. They are all going to Vanvas. Live an austere life. Just in case we need it to be austere or somebody needs to be austere. This is austerity. And which one of the regulative principles is austerity related to?
Two of them which sense gratification. Yeah, maybe.
No, one.
No intoxication and
No intoxication. How can the austerity be related to no intoxication? What is the relation?
sense gratification and following of senses.
Sense gratification, we are foregoing the senses. What are the relation? How can you relate? Yes. Yes.
Alright, so people intoxication is based to please the mind, and this is what I learned in school, but it's meant because people want to do it. And austerity is a part of austerity is giving up something. So if you're attached to one thing, you can't have austerity because austerity requires you to give up that one thing. Like in the case of the Ramayana, Lord Ram, he had to give up the kingdom and everything to go to the forest. So that's austerity because he had to give something up. But if you're drunk, how can you give up alcohol? It's impossible.
Thank you. Very good. What is your name? Krishna. So, anybody else? Yes.
You cannot be austere if you are intoxicated.
Yes. Why do people take intoxicants?
To change the consciousness, alter the consciousness.
To forget the truth. So they don't have to live in the reality I have never tried it, but I have heard this. That you don't want to face the reality, the truth of the moment, so you take intoxicants to forget that. And austerity is to face it, not to forget it. You're trying to escape what you need to face. That's why people use intoxicants untold. I don't know. Anybody can confirm this? That people use intoxicants? Yeah. This Mataji in the front can confirm that. That she knows that people do take intoxicants to forget the reality. To fade down, relax, put it aside. And austerity is to face it. Why intoxication? We did that. Bathing twice a day is principle number 4. Somebody is having fun bathing. Why bathe twice a day? Narad Muni said, bathe twice a day. Why do you think bathing twice a day? Cleanliness. And how do you feel after you bathe?
Fresh. Relax.
Fresh. Relax. And pure in thinking. In external cleanliness helps your brain also having cleaner thoughts and perspective and so on. It changes the whole perspective of the person after taking a bath. You pay attention next time how the thinking of the mind, the thoughts going here and there, how they change right after taking a bath. Many people don't realize this until they specially pay attention. Because we've been doing it since we were that old or younger. So we don't remember it. But next time you take a bath, gauge yourself by yourself. Don't tell anyone how you're feeling inside your head and how you feel inside your head after bathing. Of course, externals are bathed, but we're talking internals. It helps the internals also, not only the externals. Of course, the externals. That's why the babies are bathed maybe 2 or 3 times, because they do you know what in their diapers and all that. We don't do that, but we should still bathe once, at least. Sannyasis are supposed to bathe 3 times, and the brahmacharis and grahasthas are supposed to bathe twice. Next is tolerance, number 5. What happened? Jumping. This is tolerance. Karnadapi suni chena. How? Why should we be tolerant? The word be is missing, be. Why should we be tolerant? How does it help to be tolerant?
Why should we be tolerant? Because whatever happens is not an accident. Like whatever we experience is part of karma. So it's nothing new. Whatever we did is coming back to us.
The accidents don't happen by the accident either when you have a fender bender in the middle of the road. Yes, you're right. It's easier said than done. But we think accident happen by accident, or so many things happen by accident. But being tolerant helps us in regulating our spiritual life. How else? What should we tolerate? Tolerate urges and
tongue and other things.
tongue, yes. And what else in your practical life? Anger. Yes. Mind. Tolerate your mind? No. Mind control will come. It's coming up. There are things, the point of this exercise, there are things that we should tolerate, but there are also things that we should not tolerate. So don't take things that we should not be tolerating and put them in the tolerance section and say, oh well, I tolerate this because, Prabhuji said, he came from Canada and he gave us a big lecture on tolerance. So he's tolerating it. No. Be careful, reasonable, and tolerate what needs to be tolerated. And what does not need to be tolerated, do not tolerate. Like abuse should not be tolerated. Okay. So next, we go to number 6. It's discrimination between right and wrong. This is the opposite of, like we were discussing yesterday, just do it. Srila Prabhupada says, don't just do it, discriminate for doing it. Is it the right thing or the wrong thing? In India also, they've been teaching this no discrimination. And we say, no, we don't believe in no discrimination. We believe in discrimination. We have to discriminate. We cannot be not discriminating. We cannot be discriminating against anybody because of their color, race, or gender, or so many things. But otherwise, we should be always discriminating between what is right and what is wrong. So this is number 6. Then there is the control of mind. Somebody was looking for control of mind. Somebody is trying to control their mind over here.
Oh my god.
Control of mind. Why should we control our mind? This looks like a new devotee. All dolled up. Why should we control our mind?
Because of our mind thinks.
If we cannot control the mind, then your senses cannot be controlled.
If you cannot control the mind, then your senses cannot be controlled. What can be controlled without the mind?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Everything is
Everything is controlled by mind. So if we control the mind,
controlled.
then everything else is in control. So if we cannot control our mind, what should we do? Practice. And gentle. Both right answers. Very good. It seems like we're in good hands. Detachment and
Practice. Krishna
Practice.
says to Arjuna.
yes. Control your mind. Why control your mind? How do we control our mind? Can anybody give an example how you control your mind? Yellow boy?
Like thinking of stuff which doesn't like trigger the senses of like making them like bad, and like that means the mind is bad. So like we try to think of good things, so like to control the mind.
Very good. And the blue boy? Huh?
Doing austerities.
Doing austerities to control the mind. Yes. Very good. And you, the grey girl?
You have to try to not do the bad things that the mind is telling you to do. Like if it's telling you something against Krishna consciousness, you have to not do it.
Very good. My God, these children are intelligent. Madhupati Prabhu, what are you feeding them? Krishna Prasad or something?
Yes.
One more.
Yeah, so you have to restrict how much you let the mind do. Like if the
You know
mind
we cannot see. Why don't you come up front here? And the two of you, the three of you as well over here.
All the intelligence.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Going slowly. Right.
so you restrict what you do for the mind, and like you restrict what you like say the mind asks for something, you restrict what you restrict your like doing of what the mind asks you to, like you restrict your activity of disturbance of the mind, so
Yeah.
that eventually the mind knows it's not going to get it, so it just stops having false hopes, because eventually it'll realize that there's no point of doing it, and eventually you could concentrate it on the things you need, because it's already controlled to the limit where like it's gonna act. Where eventually you have full power over it because you change from the servant of the mind to the master of the mind. So then you can engage in Krishna consciousness.
Way to go. Here is a Krishna Balram present for you.
Krishna.
Your name is Krishna? So you have Krishna Balram. So what they're trying to say is, for example, when you're sitting and chanting your rounds and another kid over there is playing on the video games, your mind says, oh, what's he playing? Is it the Super Mario Brothers? Well, which one? Which one of the games is it? Okay, no, I want to chant, but still, there's no harm in finding out which one. So the mind will take you there and you go check out the game and all of a sudden you're, a little deeper into it and deeper into it and deeper into it. Then the mind says, put the beads away. Beads are not going anywhere. Have fun right now. The beads will always be there. Chant later. Have fun now. Right? That's the kind of things mind says. Whose mind says that? Okay, everybody who's accepting, come forward and take your... Because you're being truthful and honest and upfront, and we appreciate that. And straightforward. Come.
Prabhuji, you need to get a big bunch of cards.
He did.
It'll be alive.
Yeah, these are just for children, not for children at heart. Only for those who are accepting that their mind tries to take them elsewhere. And so that's mind control of mind. Then we go to the next, is control of senses. Control of senses. Where are the senses? And there is somebody trying to control them. Why should we control the senses?
Because the senses will ask for a lot of things, and they will, because if we don't control the mind, the senses will go out of hand, and then they'll be wanting a lot of things which will distract us in our spiritual practice.
Very good. And you, who hasn't answered in a while? You?
Controlling the mind helps you focus on devotion, chanting, and all the stuff which will help you go back to Godhead.
Way to go!
You should control the senses so you do the right thing, which can help you so you can progress in your spiritual life.
Yes, very good. Because controlling one sense at a time or senses is little easier than controlling the whole mind. So, like we go to learn something big, but we cannot learn it all together, so we learn it in small bits and pieces, and it slowly comes together. Yes.
If you don't control the senses, you'll eventually lead to intoxication, which is bad, and then...
That was the next question. You're answering the next question already. This is the question you're answering. What if you don't? But good answer. Thank you. And you?
The senses are like a gateway to the mind. If you didn't have the senses, then the mind didn't know what to do, because the senses are what giving the information to the mind. It's like a spy giving info to the king. So if you manage to control the senses, then it controls the amount of info they give to the mind, and then the mind has less to ask, fast, and then it's easier to control.
Very good. We have the incarnation of the Sankadi Rishis over here. So, if we don't control the senses, then what happens? The senses will control us. And what happens if the senses control us?
The mind.
We're completely haywire. And are we going to go back to Krishna if we are haywire? No. Why not?
Because it will then.
Because what?
Because it will ask for a lot, and then we're gonna be crazy, and then why would you think of chanting in the middle of that?
Yes. Thank you. So the next is non-violence. Why non-violence? Why non-violence?
Because then there will be no more manslaughter, and then if that, there will be world peace, and then we could go on thinking and controlling, and that's how we can control the senses and the mind, if there was no violence, and we would eventually go back down.
Yes. Very good. Next is celibacy. How many children are celibate here? Charity. Why charity? How does the charity help?
Like in this materialistic way, if you're donating it to someone who's poor, it's gonna help them as well. And if you're donating it to Krishna, you're like showing your love, because you're kind of like you're being humble, saying I don't have anything like more to show you, and then you're showing your love to Lord Krishna.
So that's good. Charity and donating and all that. But donating to poor people, yes.
Charity is good, but it depends on the way. There are 3 ways of charity. Charity in the mode of
You are ahead of us. Charity in 3 modes.
Yeah. So the charity in the mode of passion, and then charity in the mode of ignorance. So charity is very, very picky. It wants the exact circumstances. Who you give it to, how you give it to, what they're gonna do afterwards.
Yes.
So say that's why you don't give money to poor people, because they're too poor to know anything about we shouldn't eat meat or we shouldn't take drugs or all this. They're just gonna buy whatever they want. You give money to the brahmanas because they know what they're doing, and also they need the money. Like if they're really poor, so giving to the brahmanas is what you should do with money, because they know what to do with the money. They're not going to waste it in something stupid. And you should give facade to the poor people, because that's what they technically want. They're poor, they want food, they want something to eat or drink, so you should give what they actually want, and not in a way that they could use it something else. And it also depends upon the circumstances. It also depends upon the donor. I mean the person you're giving it to. Say you're giving it to a brahmana, but that brahmana is kind of like one of those brahmanas that's like, I'm just a brahmana in the name of it. Then he might do something bad. Then you get a fraction of the sin that he creates. So not only does, say he does really, he does a hideous crime like buy weapons to kill someone, he goes to hell, you become a part of it, you go to hell too.
So let's see the examples of the charity in the 3 modes. What is the charity in the mode of ignorance?
Giving things that you don't want and it's useless to the person who you're giving it to.
The worst kind of charity.
Yeah.
Wrong person, wrong time, wrong purpose, and wrong thing. Any examples? Yes.
You give a drunkard money because you think he's gonna buy something liquid so that he could drink. So he buys alcohol, and you buy it at a time where and you give it when the shop is open so that you can go and buy the alcohol and drink it and get drunk.
Any other examples?
You give a gun to someone and then they're going to misuse it.
Yeah. You give a gun to someone and you hope that they use it for the right purpose.
Don't give it away.
Yes?
Giving something which is like really valuable to a person which is it goes in the wrong hands, it'll go into bad use, and like it's technically pointless if you just give it to him without doing any caution.
Yes.
Like looking at it.
Thank you. So one of the examples that was given by one of our sannyasis in the movement said somebody is coming out of a bar at something like 2 a.m. and when this person comes out, of course he wasn't a devotee, just a drunkard. When this person comes out, he notices that there is a beggar. So he says, whatever is left in the bottom of my bottle, I give you, this is my charity. So this is used to give an example of giving the wrong thing, wrong person, to wrong time, at wrong time, for wrong purpose. Nothing good is going to be accomplished by this kind of charity. So charity in the mode of goodness, in order to be safe, you give it to Brahmanas who are practicing Brahmanas, not smarta Brahmanas, and hope that it would be used in the right place. But the charity in above goodness or in pure goodness is given to devotees or Krishna or institution which is engaged in doing the right thing. Because you give any charity to things like United Way or something or the other, Salvation Army, what do they use your charity for? They kill more cows and feed more poor people cows with your money. So if you're giving to any of these organizations, they're all over the place on the TV. For $1 a day, you can protect somebody in Africa, or you can protect somebody in India. There is no protection. They're feeding them beef, left, right, and center. That's not protecting them. That's absolutely opposite of protection. Yeah, that is putting them into the process of this karma for time to God knows when that will ever stop. Okay, so maybe we should take a break now and assemble again. It's 6, what time should we assemble?
6:30.
6:30, and what do we do in the meantime?
Take chance.
Okay.
We have.
Take breaks. Snacks.
We're on a break.
Recess.
Recess.
Lunch and recess.
Play outside.
You'll get dehydrated.
Hot. Very.
Bring up, you know the fans Thank you. I read Krishna and sports.